Hi everyone, this is Venkatesh Panyam, your physics dude. Welcome back to our channel for another interesting video. In this video, I'm going to explain which one has more density, dry air or moist air, and how does that affects the range of a baseball and how does that affects the velocity of sound. That means is the velocity of sound is same in dry air and moist air. All that we are going to discuss in this video. Yeah, before I do, please subscribe my channel, and if you really like my content, don't forget to share with your friends and don't forget to click the bell icon for the future updates. Let's see the real reason behind the density, why the density of moist air less than dry air. When I ask this question to the students, whenever I start my physics course in the beginning, they always say the density of moist air is more than dry air. So why do they think like that? They think that water is more denser or heavier when compared to air. With that logic, they answer. But what is the real reason? Let's understand in this video. Let us consider two identical beakers. One contains 0% humid air, means it is dry air. 100% humid air means this is otherwise we call it as moist air. And we know that according to Avogadro, equal volumes of all gases contains equal number of molecules. And I'm taking them at same temperature, one dry air and another one is moist air in equal container. What happens? See. So we all should understand the composition of dry air. So we all know that air mainly consists of the dry air mainly consists of oxygen and the second one is nitrogen. So nearly 78% of that is occupied by that. And the remaining is all other gases. Majority of the gas is made up of, air is made up of nitrogen molecules and oxygen molecules. Now, let me take an example. Here, this initially, if you look at the moist air, dry air contains only the molecules of heavier molecules, both are diatomic, nitrogen as well as oxygen molecules. Now, if you look at, just take an example. Here I have around 7 nitrogen molecules and 5 oxygen molecules. And remember, since as it said it as a dry air, so what will be the mass of this jar, first jar, if you want to find? We know that the mass of each nitrogen molecule is 28. The mass of each, molecular weight of each is 28 and oxygen is 32. So if we calculate the total mass of the first jar, so what we can do, the total mass is nothing but 7 into 28 plus 5 into 32. So if you simplify that, 56, 7 2s are 14, so 196. Okay, plus 160. So this will comes out to be 196 plus 160. So 6, 15. So this is 356. The total weight of this first jar, mass of the first jar is 356. Because it contains 7 nitrogen molecules and 5 oxygen molecules. Now what I'll do is, see, now I'm going to replace some of these molecules of nitrogen. As there are 7 molecules of nitrogen, I remove one nitrogen, I'll put one water molecule. Because moist air means what? It contains water molecules in the place of nitrogen or oxygen molecules. I'll remove one oxygen molecule, I add one more water. I'll remove another nitrogen molecules, I'll add another water molecules. And I remove one more oxygen, and I'll replace it with another water molecules. Similarly, just remove one more nitrogen, put another water molecules. Now let us calculate. In this, now I have only 4. Now in this case, total number of molecules are 12. Out of that, 7 nitrogen, 5 oxygen. Now let us calculate the molecules here. There are 4 water molecules, and I can find 3 oxygen molecules, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and again 4 nitrogen molecules. So 7, 11. So one more is missing. Let us calculate. 4 nitrogen. So here 1, 4, yeah. 3 oxygen molecules. How many removed? Yes, 3. Yes. So 7, 1. No. There are 5 water molecules. Or there are 5 water molecules. There are 5 water molecules. So total number of molecules are again 12. So number of molecules are correct. So now what I have done, I replaced, because the number of molecules will be equal. So I replaced the oxygen and nitrogen molecules with water molecules. Now again, let us calculate the weight. So what is the weight of water molecule? It is 18. So now in the second case, what is the mass? M is equal to 5 into 18 plus 3 into 32 plus 4 into 28. So this is nothing but 90. 18 5s are 90. Plus this is 96. And this is 32. So 112. Okay. Yeah, 112. 4 8s are 32. Yes. 49. Okay. Now if I add this 112 plus 96 plus 90, this is 8, 18, 19, and 298. Now look at. In the first case, the mass was 356. Now the mass is 298. So we know that density is nothing but mass upon volume. Density is equal to mass upon volume. In both the cases, volume is same. So if I take density of dry air is equal to, let us take this as M1 and this as M2. M by M1 by V, and density of moist air is M2 upon V is same. As we know that M1 greater than M2, automatically I proved that density of dry air greater than density of moist air. So whenever I say moist air means what is happening, the heavier molecules like nitrogen, oxygen are replaced by lighter molecules like water. So that is the reason why the number of molecules remain same, but the net mass decreases. Hence, density will decrease. So from this we understand the density of air depends on the amount of water vapor in it. So water vapor is relatively light gas when compared to oxygen. That's what I said. So the weight of water is 18, which is less than 32 and even less than 28 for oxygen, and it is nitrogen. So thus, when water vapor increases, the amount of oxygen, nitrogen gas decreases. That's what I said. If you replace the nitrogen and oxygen molecules with water molecules, they increase. That's why the density, and thus density decreases because mass is decreasing. So at this very important constant temperature, more the water vapor that displaces other gases, less is the density that air becomes. So that means from this discussion we understand clearly density of moist air less than density of dry air. Let's see, if you look at this particular picture, it clearly shows this warm and wet air. Warm and wet air rises because it is lighter, and cold and dry air is heavier, so it is falling down or it is settling down, whereas the warm and wet air, it rises up. So that's why we always see that steam always rises up. So steam is nothing but humid air, it always lighter, so it always rises up, whereas the cold and dry air always settles down. Okay, now let us see some real world or real time examples of this particular fact. Let us see how does this range of baseball changes when we play the game on dry day and moist. That means when there is a too much of moisture in that air, how the range changes. Let us see. Suppose when the what called as in the first case, let us say the air is moist air. When I say moist air, its density is less. So less is the density means less is the air resistance. So that means the ball will experience less resistance, less air resistance. So since the resistance of the air is less, this ball can travel longer distance. This is called range. So in moist air, the range of the ball is more because there is less resistance. Suppose the other hand, if you take dry air. When I said dry air, just now I said the density is more. In dry air, the density is more. So more resistance will act on the ball. So ball cannot move freely, and that's the reason why the ball comes to rest in less distance. If you look at both the cases, in this case, the range, if we take R1, the range is R2. So clearly, range is more in moist air than in dry air. So that means a ball travels longer distances in moist air than in dry air because that viscous force is more in dry air than in moist air. Similarly, it's a very common observation for most of us. After the rain, if we shout in the open air, the person, even is at longer distances, can hear your voice very clearly. So that is the reason because sound travels faster in dry air, so moist air, when compared to what called as uh, dry air. So let us see that sound travels faster in what called as moist air when compared to dry air. Let us see the reason. We all know that the velocity of sound in medium is given as a formula V is equal to gamma P by D, where P is the pressure, D is the density. So at a constant pressure for a given gas, velocity of sound inversely proportional to density. So just now I proved density of dry air, density of dry air greater than density of moist air. So higher the density, less is the velocity. So velocity of sound in dry air less than velocity of sound in moist air. That means sound travels faster in humid air when compared to dry air. So that is the reason why we hear sounds very clearly after the rain than before the rain, because the air become moist air and sound travels faster. So this is how we can explain what is, which is more denser. I hope you understood the real reason behind the why the density of dry air is more than moist air. Thank you. Thank you for listening. happy physics learning. Thank you.